This is FYI on your TV, brought to you by Hometown News. I'm Kathy Botham. I've got my co-host back with me, Robbie Hall. How are you doing, Robbie?
Great.
Great.
You, Kathy?
I'm doing really well, really well. So you've got a guest today. Would you like to introduce our guest?
Is Nadine Tapia.
Hi, Robbie.
Hey, Nadine.
Hi.
Can you talk a little bit about Nadine? Why is she here today?
Good morning, and thank you, Kathy. November is Diabetes Awareness Month, and today we have the pleasure of speaking with my friend Nadine Tapia. This topic is near and dear to her heart, as Nadine has been a diabetic for over 50 years. I will turn it over to you, Kathy and Nadine.
All right, all right. Well, welcome, Nadine. Thank you for joining us today. Like Robbie said, that November is Diabetes Awareness Month, and Robbie said you've been a diabetic for over 50 years?
Yeah, I was 11 when I was diagnosed, and so it's been 53 years on insulin.
Okay, can you talk a little bit about being 11 years old? Do you remember what happened? What made you have to get some attention?
Yeah. So I know it was in December, right around Christmas, and just not feeling well. And my brother was also type 1 diabetic. So I think my parents had a little idea of the signs with being very thirsty, frequent urination, being lethargic, and they just took the steps to get me to the doctor, and I was diagnosed diabetic at that time.
All right. Now you say your brother's diabetic too. How old was he when he was diagnosed?
So John was 11 when he was diagnosed. Now there's 7 years between John and I. Yeah, my parents, it was very, of course, new to my family because there's nobody else in our family with diabetes. So for some reason it hit John and I. So yeah, sometimes I had been told that sometimes it's a virus that attacks the pancreas for some type 1 diabetics. And since it wasn't in our family, that's kind of where the direction we went, how it happened.
It's interesting. You were both 11 years old.
Yes. Yeah, kind of, going into adolescence. And I mean, insulin is a hormone. So whether maybe changes in the hormones at that time, and if we were hit with a virus, just the perfect storm, I guess. Yeah.
Yes, that's right. And that's what diabetes is the hormones in your pancreas, they're not creating anymore.
That's correct. So my pancreas produces no insulin. So of course, as a result, I take multiple injections a day. So I take a long-acting insulin in the morning of 68 units, which sounds like a lot. And then throughout the day, I take insulin before I eat something, basically, like before my meals. Depending what my blood sugar is, I take insulin when I eat something, and especially if it's got carbs in it and that, because I count my carbs to give my insulin.
Okay. Now, are you on what they call a sliding scale?
Yes, that's exactly what it is. With my Humalog, it's a sliding scale. Yeah.
So you test your blood sugar, and based on what your blood sugar is how much insulin you're going to give yourself.
Correct. And I'm on the continuous glucose monitoring system now. I just started about a year ago. So it's called the Dexcom 6. And it reads my blood sugar for me, and it goes to my phone. So rather than me pricking my finger, I look at my phone to see what my blood sugar is.
Okay, okay. Now is that
I'm not pricking my fingers anymore.
No more, no more.
All
oh my
these
goodness.
years.
Yes, yes, for sure. I mean, you've been having to do this for over 50 years. Your fingers get pretty calloused up and everything too. They toughen up. Yeah. So the system you have now, is that what we see people have them on their arms?
Okay, so that's the freestyle system, which is a great. My endocrinologist suggested to me the Dexcom 6, so I can't wear the Dexcom on my arm. I'm not sure why, they just don't recommend it. So it's on my abdomen.
Okay.
Change it every 10 days.
Okay.
And I've got a little transmitter that it's a sensor that I insert into myself, and then it's got a transmitter on it that tells the blood sugars to my phone. It's really quite amazing.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
It is. Like, can we talk a little bit about that? Like, we're talking about this wonderful type of technology and medical, apparatus that you've got now. 53 years ago, big difference.
Yeah. So so it was me putting drops of urine in a test tube, dropping a pill into it.
This is 53 years ago.
Yeah.
Yep.
And then it was in a pee cup, sticking a stick in it, just like you would for checking chlorine in a pool. And then you look at the color chart to see what your blood sugar was. And then when I was in my 20s, I was introduced to the glucometer, like pricking my fingers and reading the blood.
Okay.
And now the continuous monitoring, glucose monitoring systems.
Okay. And the insulin that you're giving today versus the way you had to give insulin back then too?
Yeah, very different, because I know when John, when I would watch my mother, she used to boil glass syringes, not needles, syringes. And then it went, by the time I came around with diabetes, it was the disposable syringes. But needles have changed.
Yes.
Needles are better now. They've evolved, because you don't even know. And then the insulin pen, there's another one that I can give insulin at work and nobody would know. I can do it so discreetly.
Right.
Whereas before you had a vial and you had to draw insulin. But in a restaurant, I can give insulin and no one would even know.
That's right. It is.
The big thing. And then I went on to the pump, the insulin pump.
Oh, you did have a pump? Yes.
I had 2 pumps in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And it got me definitely successfully through my 2 pregnancies, which I'm grateful for. And then when they discontinued my pump, I wasn't working at the time. I was home with my children. And I decided to go back to the conventional way of giving insulin. I think it's because I didn't like that I was attached to a machine. That bothered me. But I did it for about 15 years.
Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And with 50 years of being a diabetic, you've seen so many changes.
Yeah, it has evolved. And, I just want to say kudos to all diabetics. Whether you're a type 1 or you're a type 2, you're pre-diabetes, it's a journey. And it is a lot of work. To be healthy for a diabetic, it's a lot of work and dedication. And it's a balance of your medicine, your food, your exercise, and working with your diabetic team. And when I started, really, there was no team. It was the doctor and you. But now we have these phenomenal, well, our physicians, but these nurses, these diabetic nurses, our educators, and the dietitians and chiropodists that look after the feet, which is so important.
So important.
Like, even having the disease for so long, I went back to a dietitian, and like, I felt I needed to be re-educated. Reading labels, like, yeah. So I'm just so grateful, and congratulations to all people on this journey, because it is a journey.
Well, yeah. I so appreciate, you made me some notes, and I got them from Marlene and my daughter, so I appreciate it. And you do, you thank your team a lot in here. It's a balance of so many things that you have to do, and it's a team of people.
Oh, definitely, because you know what? You can't do it alone, and that includes your family too. Yes. I've had a wonderful support in my family, and because sometimes you need support. Sometimes you get down, and you need someone to kind of maybe give you a little nudge even. Yeah. But it's worth it. Whatever you do, I'm reaping the benefits now of doing the best I can to look after myself, because at my age now, from what the doctors have said, I'm in good shape right now.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I mean, diabetes, I can understand how it can get you down. It does not take a holiday. Just because it's your birthday, just because it's Christmas Day. No, you can't have extra fruit cake, and you can't have another piece of birthday cake or anything. You are a diabetic all the time. You have to be careful, in moderation.
You have to be careful. Yes. You have to be careful for sure. And at Christmas, my thing is squares, like Nanaimo bars. Date squares, and like, when I see that stuff on the table, like, we don't do it at home so much. We don't do it at home, but when I'm out and they have it, I struggle.
Yes, yes. I can absolutely understand that. I can understand that. Now, we are here to talk about Diabetes Awareness Month being November, but it's been 100 years of insulin too. And the gentleman that discovered insulin is Canadian too.
Yes, so I know Sir Frederick Banting. I don't know, did I show you this?
Yes. Actually, I wanted to show everybody the picture you got. Yes.
Right. Okay, so I got an email from my endocrinologist in Ottawa, and so what this company, Novo Nordisk, is offering a print of Sir Frederick Banting's homestead, and there's I don't know if you can see, but a picture of Frederick Banting with his favorite collie, and it's in recognition of people who have been on insulin, totally just insulin, for 50 years and plus. So I thought it was very nice to.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
And I was surprised they put my name. I didn't expect that. So. It was nice, but Banting and Best, thank goodness. I want to say also for our researchers, like our doctors, our nurses, scientists. I mean,
absolutely,
for diabetics.
And I mean, we have come so far that people are being diagnosed earlier too. I mean, now there's even pre-diabetes. You start working with it sooner too, instead of later. So
which is important.
In terms of what you say, scientists and doctors, we've come such a long way.
Oh, big time. Yeah, I'm very grateful. And I'm sure a lot of other diabetics are also, for sure.
Absolutely. Well, is there anything else you'd like to say, being Diabetes Awareness Month?
No, I think that's about it. I do want to emphasize, if you can reach out to a diabetes team, because I know we were in the pandemic, and I was home from work, And it was just meant to be, because I started with a new doctor, and then all of a sudden I got a call from a nurse from the Rideau Valley Diabetes Service, which is in Smith Falls on Gould Street. And I have never used their services because I was always going to Ottawa. And when this nurse spoke with me, I was like talking to them nearly every 2 weeks. And then one day she came to see me, and she has helped me a lot as the doctor. And I can't say enough. They've been very helpful to me, the Rideau Valley Diabetes Service here in Smith Falls. I'm very grateful to them.
And right here in Smith Falls.
Right here in Smith Falls. And I see my doctor in Smith Falls, the one in Ottawa, so we do it on screen.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So
right.
It's great, because I told them I'm getting to the point I don't want to travel to Ottawa if I don't have to.
That's right too.
Yeah,
I'm
looking forward.
Yeah, that's right.
Getting older, and I know I won't want to go anywhere.
Well, and this past year, when we know that we can do it this way now too, and it works.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
for sure.
No, I'm very pleased. So so stay with your team. Don't give up. Don't give up, because it's worth doing.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
To do as a diabetic, to be healthy, it is worth it.
That's right. And if you know anybody with diabetes too, it's like you say, a team. You've got doctors and specialists and everything. Mm-hmm. Family and friends are so important too. We're
Definitely,
there for you.
Kathy.
We got to help you. And then it's like we say, diabetes does not take a holiday. It does not give you a break.
No.
Can you just, if you're having a low blood sugar, what does it feel like? Or a high blood sugar, what does that feel like?
Okay, well, if I have a low blood sugar, you get sweaty, confused. You can be like in a drunken state if you really let it go, and you can pass out. So this is why my Dexcom 6 that I have, it gives me a warning. So it will beep, and it will beep loud. And I work at a school, so I told the students that it just means I need to take medicine. So I mean, they're young children, so I didn't go into any details or anything. Though I do have one little girl that is my nurse here at school, and she will come to me and say, Mrs. Teifer, we need to check your blood sugar.
Oh.
He wants to see my machine.
Yes.
So, kind of funny. She looks after me. So
Well,
so now I get a warning. So I can make a correction, and meaning that if I'm going low, I can then take some dextrose or take a half a cup of juice or a teaspoon of honey. So I can ward off going really, really low when it becomes dangerous.
Yes, for
and
sure.
Same if I'm high, then it will alarm. I look at it and I see it's high and the arrow's starting to go up. Well, I need to make a correction. I then need to give myself some insulin.
Okay. Isn't working with children wonderful? They're so curious and they're so interesting,
Oh, they are, and they're so helpful. Like
yes.
They say, oh, yeah, no, Mrs. Teifer needs her medicine.
Yeah.
And they go on to do whatever they do.
It's wonderful. It's wonderful what you're doing, working with children too. So anyways, I'm going to pass this back over to Robbie.
Oh, Robbie, great.
Nadine,
Hi,
do
Rob.
you have a phone number for the diabetic clinic?
I do, Robbie. So it is the Rideau Valley Diabetes Service at 118 Gould Street. That's the old high school. Their number is 613-284-2558.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Nadine, for taking the time today to talk to share your story with us, and best of luck with your diabetes.
Oh, thank you, Robbie. I appreciate that so much. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us. We've got Nadine Taillefer. Thank you for joining us. And thank you, Robbie.
You're welcome, Kathy.
Once again, my co-host here on FYI.